It was an ordinary morning, yet for Zoya every day at the university felt like stepping into a new battle. Zoya was a bright, hard-working, and determined young woman, but because of her deep skin tone and unique cultural heritage, some students would target her and mock her at every opportunity. Among them, Emma stood out the most. Not only was she arrogant, but she also incited others to join her in ridiculing Zoya. During one ordinary break, while Zoya was lost in her book, Emma and her group of friends gathered around her. With a sneer, Emma asked, "What are you reading, Zoya? Do you really think your cleverness will take you anywhere?" Without a trace of anger, Zoya slowly lifted her head and replied, "I believe that hard work and knowledge can open every door." Hearing this, Emma's anger flared up. She snatched Zoya's notebook, threw it to the ground, and shouted, "People like you will never accomplish anything." Then, she pushed Zoya harshly on the shoulder. But when Emma pushed her, Zoya neither showed anger nor fear. Instead, she quietly picked up her scattered book and, looking into Emma's eyes, offered a gentle smile that spoke of resilience and strength. The very next morning, Zoya chose the front seat in the lecture hall. Seeing this, Emma's fury intensified. She and her group stormed forward, and in a harsh tone, Emma declared, "People like you only deserve to sit in the back, never up front." At that very moment, Emma's boyfriend, Daniel, a kind-hearted and honest young man, stepped forward and said in a calm yet firm voice, "Emma, this behavior is unacceptable. Stop troubling Zoya for no reason." The arrival of the professor brought a brief calm to the lecture hall, yet Emma's inner anger still burned fiercely. After the lectures, while Zoya sat alone in the university's cafeteria, deep in her thoughts, Emma and her friends reappeared. Without any warning, Emma struck Zoya hard across the cheek. Zoya's head dropped, but she remained composed, her inner strength unshaken. Witnessing this, Daniel's anger reached its peak. In a raised voice he said, "Emma, don't you realize what you're doing? Why do you always target Zoya? Don't I mean anything to you?" Emma's words trembled with desperation and regret. Taking a deep breath, Daniel responded coldly, "Emma, I can't tolerate your behavior any longer. I refuse to spend my life with someone who takes pleasure in putting others down. Our relationship is over." With that, Daniel walked away, leaving Emma's heart shattered. She had always cherished him, and his absence now left her feeling isolated and worthless. A few days later, on Emma's birthday, she found no joy. A profound sadness and regret had taken hold, as she realized that her own misdeeds had cost her something truly precious. That very day, a respected and wise professor from the university, Mrs. Johnson, approached Emma gently and said, "Emma, sometimes the hardest lessons in life are those we must learn by looking within ourselves. True strength lies in admitting our mistakes and striving to improve." Her words stirred something soft within Emma's heart. As the day drew to a close, Zoya took a quiet moment to speak with Emma privately and said, "I know there have been times when you, too, felt isolated and hurt by the harsh judgments of the world. My mother was a community activist, and she taught me that every scar tells a story of survival and hope. I forgive you, Emma, because I believe that everyone deserves a chance to change." Tears welled up in Emma's eyes as she finally understood that her cruelty was nothing but a reflection of her own insecurities and need for acceptance. Realizing the truth of her actions, Emma earnestly apologized to Daniel from the depths of her heart. Though still wounded, Daniel sensed her genuine remorse and cautiously accepted her apology. Later, on Emma's next birthday, Daniel surprised her with a heartfelt gift, a token not just of reconciliation, but of new beginnings. That celebration marked the start of a renewed spirit rather than a reminder of past hurts. The wave of transformation soon spread throughout the university. Gradually, friendships were mended, and a culture of kindness and respect began to blossom. Zoya's quiet strength and her willingness to forgive not only healed her own wounds but also ignited a spark of change in the hearts of those around her. This story reminds us that true power does not reside in physical might or harsh words, but in forgiveness, empathy, and the ability to learn from our mistakes. When we choose to treat others with love and respect, we have the power to heal wounds and transform hearts, creating a world where every scar can turn into a symbol of hope.